All right, so now we're gonna draw in to really kind of flush out this area, these pad areas in here, especially this one and this one over here. We just want to make the surface of their finished ground correct so that when we actually apply our site improvements that we actually get a little bit better detail. Again, this might be overkill for what you need. If you don't need to go to this level of detail, then you can kind of really skip ahead to where we start putting in the site improvements. But again, I wanted to kind of really go through this as how it might be done if you were to be particular about all these elevations. So I'm going to start over here. Now, one of the things that I did to show you how I got to this point here is, first thing we did was I went to my finished design surface, right-clicked, so I'm in the View Filter Manager, and go to Properties. And under there, I turn the Show in Plan View of the wireframe from Yes to No. And that hid all those triangles, just cleaning it up. Then on the View Filter Manager, I went up here and I toggled on all the layers. All right, so these are all the layers that came from the PDF when I imported it in. Now I can see here that there's this yellow line. All right, so there's this yellow dash line, and it looks like I got yellow dash line over here as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say View Only Layers of Selected Objects. And so I selected that line and then selected this View Only Layers of Selected Objects. And that turns everything else off except the PDF. Now I do want my 3D line work. So I'm going to turn on my proposed 3D information so I can see the contours and I can see my 3D curve line. But I've turned off the 2D curve line so that doesn't interfere with what I'm doing. Okay, so even if I look at this in 3D, I can kind of see what's happening. The 2D information is only those yellow lines. So now when I come in here, back to plan view, I can simply draw in this information. So I'm going to go to my CAD line string, and I'm going to call this propane area. And we're going to do the same thing on the layer. I'm going to call this TO-propane area. And we can make that magenta as well. Give it a thickness, protect it, come in here, make it proposed 3D. We'll click OK. And do the same thing. Now what I want to do is I don't need to create the entire thing, so I'm just going to come in and I'm going to snap to the endpoint of this curve line. So it's going to pick up that elevation. Then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to snap to that point. And I'm going to skip the elevation by putting a question mark in there. I'm going to go to save. And then I can come in here and put in the next one, which is right there. Again, that's going to be a question mark. I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put in a point right there. And that's going to be this 23.35. And then we'll pick that point there, that's a question mark. And this one here, same thing, is a question mark. And then I'm going to snap to this curve line right there. Okay. And we will close that. And now I've got that curve line in that area. Right. Now what I should have done was also called these gutter edge 3D. So I should put a 3D on these. And I can do that in the layer manager. Again, this is, the reason I'm showing you this and I'm doing this is I kind of forgot about it. And I want to make sure that when we do this, that what we're doing here is we're creating our project template at the same time. So it's kind of why I'm spending the extra time on a lot of this. I want to make sure that when we're done, we've got a project template and we don't have to set this stuff up later on. Okay, so that one's break line. That one should be 3D as well. And then this one actually should be, oops. So hopefully you caught my mistake when you were doing it and you did it right in the first place. Same thing here with our dumpster pad. I'm doing an underscore. Again, just naming conventions, standards, a little bit of attention to detail goes a long way. All right. So that's that. Next, we'll do the curb island here, or the this pump area, which I'm saving for last because it's got a lot of detail.